Hey everyone, RedyTay here, back at it with another solo Pokemon challenge. Beating Pokemon FireRed with Scyther went pretty smooth until the end. Throughout the game, we were hard hitting, but were very one-dimensional in our type variety despite being a dual type. With this challenge, I think we are sacrificing some of our attack power to allow us to have a little more freedom in our move pool. Today we are going to see if you can beat Pokemon Silver with a single Girafarig. So like I said, this challenge is sort of similar to our previous one. The best part of Girafarig's stats are both of its attacks and speed stats. Its defense and special defense stats stay the same, so at least we can stay even on that front. And we do have a little more HP than Scyther had. Where things are looking a little better compared to our last challenge is Girafarig's moveset. Well, not much better, but it's nice to have Psychic moves even if they are not the most powerful options. But having Psybeam as a stab move is still a very solid option. The extra flexibility with the team list is nice as well. I wasn't expecting Girafarig to be able to learn moves like Earthquake, Iron Tail, and Shadow Ball. Obviously Sidekick is still attractive as we are moving through the post game. An interesting take when it comes to Girafarig is its typing. Since it's normal and Psychic, we are immune to Ghost, resistant to Psychic, but extra susceptible to Bug and Dark. I feel like this is one of the simplest type matchup combinations I have seen. That's fine with me, makes the gameplay simpler I feel like. Before jumping into the game, let's discuss the rules. I can only use Girafarig throughout the game. HM Pokemon can be used to progress, no cheats or hacks can be used, and I will be sticking with the trend of not using items during the battle. Only held items and items given to Girafarig before the battle can be used. I don't really know what to expect in this challenge. Like I mentioned, we don't have a lot of type weaknesses, and I feel like we can stand on our own pretty well when it comes to battling. I feel like Bugsy won't be too much of a challenge, and the rest of the gym badges should be, for the most part, manageable. I don't really know, but let's jump in and see how things truly look. Okay, so we talk to Professor Elm and get our Girafarig. I use the Pokemon Randomizer to switch Cyndaquil with Girafarig so our rival will have Totodile. We aren't weak to water types, but this Pokemon is all about using Dark type Bite and Crunch, so that will make the battles interesting in the future. I named Girafarig Smith after his famous dance move, the Drunk Giraffe. Stat-wise, we are looking about what you would expect. It's really nice to start the game with a full moveset. Having Confusion right out of the gate is a very solid pickup. As the game moves on, that move will lose its luster, but in the early game this thing can pack a punch. Also, having a flinch-inducing move here with a good speed stat is really nice too. We don't battle that many wild Pokemon as we do the early leg of the game, so we are still at level 5 when we face our rival. Not much to report here though. We spam Confusion while it spams Leer, and Totodile goes down in 3 turns. Also, it's kinda nice seeing a smiling face while you battle. I'm going to name Smith's tail / second brain here, Mr. Clever. See, a great Psychic move early in the game. It's obviously still a great move here in Bellsprout Tower. Yeah, I know that this part is optional in the game, but I would like to Flash HM later on, and it is nicer to have a few more levels in before battling Faulkner, even though I don't think this is going to be that rough of a battle. Yeah, maybe level 12 here is a bit overkill. Confusion one-shots Pidgey, and 2 stomps make short work of Pidgeotto. We took a little damage from Gus, but it's almost not worth talking about. Let's get going. Bugsy's next, and he could be a little bit of a problem, but I think honestly, we will be okay. But before that, we have to get through Union Cave. Good news here is that Confusion makes short work of the hikers. It's nice not being stalled by them here like we have been in previous battles. We get out of Union Cave easy enough and also have a pretty smooth run at battling Team Rocket Grunts at the Slowpoke Well. We are getting a lot of experience here with all the poison types that are being thrown against us. Girafarig levels up really fast, I'm noticing. With all that done, I guess we should see how Bugsy is going to be. Even though we are weak to bug type moves, we still have a lot going for us. A lot of them are also part poison, so Confusion can still go a long way, and pretty much all the bug types are weak defensively, so our attack power should carry us a long way here. We battle some of the trainers here at the gym, and then get to facing Bugsy. Metapod is a critical hit one-shot with Stomp. From here Bugsy sends out Scyther right after. This is the only scary part of the gym. We are susceptible to its Fury Cutter, and if it is able to get a streak going, it is going to get stronger, putting us in a more dangerous situation. Well, flinching from Stomps seems to be the best option here, and the first one hits hard enough, and does cause a flinch, so that is a great start. The next one causes a flinch too. From here Scyther is standing in red health and just uses a quick attack, that way it can say it did deal some damage before going down. We cause it to faint soon after, and all that is left is Kakuna. Obviously confusion was too much for it, so in short, Bugsy wasn't really a threat at all. Let's see how our rival looks with his new team. Well, Ghastly's part poison, so we of course are going to use confusion here. Actually, we're going to use it again when Zubat comes out. Crocodile is last out and confusion hits, but it's still standing in the green. It hits us with a weak water gun, and then we end the battle with Stomp. Clearly, you weren't supposed to have a psychic type this early in the game. Well, with Ilex Force now accessible, we quickly get the cut HM and make it through to the other side quick enough and skip all the trainers on the route to Goldenrod. We also skip as many trainers we can at the normal gym, because I feel like we have a little bit of a level lead, and I want to make the battling more even. It gets kind of boring for everyone if we are just blowing through the challenge all because we are at a much higher level and just destroying opponents with those buff stats. Battling Whitney went real smoothly thanks to some luck. We knocked Clefairy out with 2 stomps. Smith is still at full health due to Clefairy's double slap missing. Now defeating Miltank centers around using the same plan we had with Scyther. Break the power ability and streak attack by flinching it with Stomp. There is just one problem. Miltank is faster than us. Confusion doesn't hit that hard here. Smith quickly switches to using Stomp, and now we are in a race trying to take Miltank out faster than it can take us out with Rollout. We are at a little bit of a disadvantage due to the fact we can't break the streak on our own, and right now Miltank hasn't missed, so the move is getting stronger and stronger. We get to yellow health pretty quick, and I figured we were going to need a miracle to survive for another turn or two when our next stomp was a critical hit, taking Miltank out. That was really lucky there with the crit. That we might not have survived if Clefairy's double slap didn't miss, because the way our luck is, either Clefairy's double slap would miss, or Clefairy would have landed 5 hits with a double slap. But enough dwelling on hypotheticals, let's get ready for Morty. I'm not too worried about Morty. We are immune to ghost attacks, and since his whole team is part poison, we have a good move against them. It's the only move we can use against them because, well, the rest of the moveset is normal, but hey, it's still a great move. All that being said, I would like to get some more levels for Smith. Let's face some of the trainers and maybe face our rival at the Burnt Tower before facing Morty. Nah, I thought about it, but when we get to Critique City, I think we're ready to battle Morty first. Ghastly is up, and one Confusion knocks it out pretty quick. Gengar is next, and Confusion is still doing good work, but it is still standing in yellow health after it hits. We then get the unfortunate luck by falling asleep from Hypnosis. From here we stay asleep for several turns, which gives Gengar a lot of time to heal up from Dream Eater. That also means we are taking a lot of damage here too. We do heal up from a berry though, which helps. Wait, is that the berry we got at the beginning of the game? I can't believe we kept it that long. That's a record for me. We were coming close to being knocked out, but luckily we wake up, and thanks to Morty mistiming another Dream Eater while Smith is awake, we get the opportunity to land 2 Confusions, taking Gengar out. From here we wrap the battle up quickly by knocking out the 2 Haunters with a Confusion each. Now let's see how things look when we face our rival. First out is Haunter, but just like Morty, Confusion doesn't make this part of the battle worth talking about. Confusion hits Crocodile hard, but it's still in green health. Bite might be super effective, but it's not that scary damage-wise. Another Confusion, and Crocodile is now in deep red health and confused. Come on, please hurt yourself in Confusion. Yes, okay, perfect. We switch to using Stomp when Magnemite comes out, and it does a good job here. We get confused though soon after because of Supersonic. We then hurt ourselves in Confusion, and then take some damage from a Sonic Boom. We get lucky in being able to land another Stomp though, to take Magnemite out. Last for our rival is Zubat, and this will be an easy finish if we can just land a Confusion. Too bad we hit ourselves in Confusion and get knocked into the red thanks to Zubat's Bite. Come on, please don't hit yourself here, Smith. Perfect, okay. We land another Confusion there for the one-shot win. Well, this is a Generation 2 game, which means 4 badges in, and we are back to that fork in the road on the map. This time, I'm not going to give this much thought. We are heading west first. I just want to get the Chuck and Jasmine part of the journey done. Chuck, because let's be honest, he's the Blaine of this generation. We could beat him with our eyes closed. Jasmine, well, she is the Lorelei of this game for me. I always have a challenge ahead of me battling her, and it usually deals with the type matchup. We are diving into this head first by going to Lighthouse and needing to get the medicine for Amphi, which of course means that we can battle Chuck. Of course, as you would assume, there's nothing to report here. One Confusion takes Primeape out quick, another one takes Poliwrath to half health, and then we actually get hit by a Dynamic Punch. I think that is the first time that has happened in any challenge. It doesn't hit very hard, but we are confused. Despite that, we were able to use Confusion in the next turn, which of course knocks Poliwrath out. Easy battle for sure. Despite that brief battle and really efficient run, I don't think we are ready for Jasmine. She is always a brick wall and we have barely beaten her in other challenges with stronger Psychic moves like Psybeam. We can learn Psybeam, but we haven't yet, and even with that move, it's still not the best game plan to use since Steel types resist Psychic moves. Earthquake would be a great move here, but the TM is in Victory Road, which is obviously out of reach at the moment. We need to grind some and get some PCBs, or Paralysis Cure Berries. I hate that name, they need a more natural name for their berries like Generation 3 onward. I decided to see how we look at this point against Jasmine so we really know where we stand. We have a PCB, which does shrug off Paralysis like it's supposed to, but we can't take Magnemite out in 2 hits, so that means we are still paralyzed by the time it goes down. From here we just go down from the second Magnemite Thunderbolt. Yeah, we never saw Steelix. Maybe we should go to Mahogany and take care of that part of the storyline instead? Getting through the Lake of Rage and Team Rocket portion of the run went real smoothly, especially the Team Rocket grunts, who mainly use weak poison types. The good news is that when we battle the last grunt we get to level 41, which means we learn Psybeam. We immediately replace Confusion with this better Psychic move, and Psybeam was proving its worth already against Price. It takes his seal to yellow health right out of the gate, and we take some damage from an Icy Wind and then finish it off with a Stomp. Dugong is next out and I continue with Stomp hoping for some flinch luck. It doesn't happen and we take some more damage from an Aurora Beam. Another Stomp takes it out. Last out is Pilswine, which we take out easy with 2 Psybeams. We weren't in any real danger here even if his Fury attacks did hit us 5 times. The extra levels in the Psybeam are a nice improvement, but I'm not sure we are ready to beat Jasmine at this point. Our first attempt does show some signs of improvement. It takes 2 stomps to take out the Magnemites, and thanks to the PCB and flinch luck, we take both of them out so that we can be at full health and not paralyzed by the time Steelix comes out. We already knew Stomp was not going to do much here, but the flinch luck at the start is making the move worth it. We are also getting some luck with Steelix's Iron Tail missing, but when it does hit, it hits pretty hard. This part of the battle soon becomes who will get the final blow as we each are creeping closer and closer to red health. We get Steelix to that point first, but Jasmine soon heals it up to full health. Well, we can't keep up with that, but we try. Let's give this another go or two before saying it's time to grind. The second and third attempts are really close battles, especially the third one. That one was really close. I can't admit defeat yet. I feel like we can win this battle here at level 42. We would have won these battles easily if Jasmine didn't heal Steelix at the end. We just need an opportunity where we can get Steelix down to low health, but high enough for Jasmine not to use a Hyper Potion. On the 4th attempt, we take out Magnemite with 2 stomps like previously. It flinched so we aren't paralyzed yet. We take out the second one the same way. We do get paralyzed, but again we have the barrier to heal us from that. Regardless, we are back to facing Steelix at full health and not paralyzed. We stick with Psybeam here. Yeah, I know Steel resists Psychic moves, and it doesn't cause flinching, but it is hitting harder. We do take some damage from an Iron Tail, but we soon get the opportunity to confuse Steelix from a Psybeam, which means it hurts itself in confusion the next move. I am not sure if this next Psybeam is enough for a knockout, or if Jasmine is going to heal up, but we don't really have a choice here. Okay, perfect. Psybeam here hits hard enough for the knockout. I knew we were close, we just needed a few tiny things to go our way. Well, I really want to get going on battling Claire, but we have to go through the whole Team Rocket taking over Radio Tower portion of the game now. Just like the last time we faced them in Mahogany Town, they don't really put up much of a fight worth talking about. Psybeams make this portion of the run really easy. The real part we care about is the rival battle here. Golbat is a one-shot with Psybeam, and Sneasel is a one-shot with Stomp. We switch back to using Psybeam with Feraligatr. It survives and hits us with a weak bite. We quickly finish it off with another Psybeam. Stomp is still a good move here with Magnemite. It flinches from the first one, and we soon knock it out with a second one. All that is left is Haunter, but Psybeam hits more than hard enough to finish the fight here. Let's finish the rest of the Team Rocket battles, and let's hurry up to fighting Claire. But before we get to that, we are at level 50 upon arriving to Blackthorn City. Yeah, it's weird still having Tackle here in the moveset. I'm pretty confident this will not be the final moveset by the end of the game, or even against the rapidly approaching Elite Four. We haven't even used Agility once in this run. Stat-wise, we are kinda balanced. I wish our attack and special defense were higher though. Especially attack, since we are using physical moves here more. but I'm loving the speed and HP we have had in this run. I think we can outlast Claire's team, and I don't really have a strategy here. Basically, we're just going to hit hard and hope it's enough for us to come out on top. We were actually at level 51, and I made a stupid mistake as soon as the battle started. I forgot to give Smith a paralysis cure berry before jumping in. Please don't get paralyzed here. When it comes to the 3 Dragonairs, we can hit them really hard with Stomp, but they all survive with a tiny sliver. The first and the third one don't flinch from the attack, but their Thunder Waves both miss. What are the odds? They both go down from a tackle. Second Dragonair does flinch from Stomp, but our tackle misses in the next turn, so we do take some damage from a Dragon Breath. Yeah, the next tackle does hit it, and it goes down the same way as the other ones do. We go a different route of attack when Kingdra comes out. Psybeam does a good job, but Kingdra is still in green. We take some damage from a Surf, and from there we land a critical hit Psybeam to finish off Kingdra. Wow, I was expecting Kingdra to still be standing with a sliver, and Claire would heal it up to full health. I will take that break. We weren't in any real danger, but I appreciate all the breaks we were getting here. I'm actually kind of surprised how fast we've moved through this run. I'm hoping we can keep this momentum going through the Elite Four. I know that this won't be a complete cakewalk, but we do have some hard-hitting moves at our disposal. We also learned Crunch on Victory Road, which should help us a lot against Will. I don't think Koga or Bruno will put up much of a fight, so that basically means Karen and Lance will most likely be our biggest obstacles when it comes to the Elite Four. Soon we get to our last fight for our rival, and it still wasn't much of a fight. Sneasel goes down to a Stomp, Golbat goes down to 1 Psybeam, we are back to using Stomp when Magneton comes out, we are getting some great flinch luck here, and we take it out with Crunch at the end, with it being in red health. With Kadabra now out, Crunch is still the move of choice, it's an easy one-shot there. Feraligatr is next, and Psybeam takes it to yellow health, we take some damage from a Slash, and use another Psybeam for the knockout. Last out is Honor, where Psybeam still gets the job done, allowing us to beat our rival one more time and ultimately get to the Elite Four. I battle a few wild Pokemon to even out our level to 57. Moveset wise, I think we have a lot of answers to the Elite Four's teams. It's also nice that all of our stats are in the triple digits. Girafarig has really proven itself in this run, and I'm sure it will put up a good fight in all these battles. Like I said, I'm kinda worried about Karen when it comes to her dark types, and Lance just has a really good team. But this is one of the best physical attackers I have had in a Generation 2 run, so let's see how things really turn out. Will gave us a real uneventful fight. All of his Pokemon were one-shots with Crunch. I was worried that some wouldn't be since all of their health bars move so slow going down, but nope. Easy fight. Koga was a little bit more of a challenge. Ariados isn't though, thanks to going down to 1 Psybeam. Sidekick-based attacks will hardly do a thing to Fortress, so we are going to use Stomp here for some good flinch luck. It also doesn't deal a lot of damage, but if we're lucky we can limit it attacking us. Fortress does flinch, but it also lays spikes, attacks us with Swift, and draws this battle out with Protect. None of those options really scare me, and it goes down soon enough. Muck isn't as tanky as Fortress, but it is tanky enough to survive a Psybeam. It does get confused in the process, leading to it knocking itself out. Well, that fell perfectly into place. From here, Koga sends out Venomoth and Crobat. Both are Pokemon that aren't known for their special defense stat, so a Psybeam each takes them out quickly. Things went back to being easy when Bruno comes up. Psybeam makes most of his Pokemon an easy one-shot. Hitmonchan did get a Mach Punch in before going down, and Machamp survived the Psybeam with what has to be close to 1 HP, delivered a Cross Chop, and then got fully healed. Despite that, he was easy to finish off to win the fight. Okay, here comes one of our major tests of the game. Karen. I'm not looking forward to the dark moves, but also I think we can hit hard enough to get by. Let's go. Umbreon is our first challenge because this thing is always deceptively tanky. It takes 3 stomps to take it out. Luckily though, it was only able to attack us once thanks to flinching. The feint attack does hurt, but it's not horrible. After it goes down, we get Murkrow. This thing isn't tanky, so 1 stomp is a one-shot. From here, Karen brings out our real threat, which is Houndoom. I always think this thing has a better or similar defense to Umbreon, but it really doesn't, as you can see how much damage Stomp does to it. Red health is great, but I really need to finish this dog off quick. Its Crunch, though, packs a wallop. Probably the scariest part of the run so far, watching that health bar go down, because for a second it looked like we were going to lose right here and there. We are now standing at 29 HP, and this is a tough spot. But I'm pretty sure we can still pull off a win if we can just get Houndoom to go down. Karen then gives Houndoom a max potion, so it is back to full health. This still works in our favor by giving us 2 turns of Stomp that easily take it out. From here, we have a really good chance of winning the battle despite Kieran having 2 more Pokemon and us being at really low health. The reason for that is both Vileplume and Gengar are weak to psychic moves, and Psybeam makes both of them easy one-shots. I am thankful for our speed stat there when it comes to Houndoom. Actually, our speed stat has saved us a lot in this game when it comes to our flinch luck. Okay, we are now healed up and ready to fight Lance. I don't really have any strategy for this one. Hoping Stomp and Psybeam carry us far here. Some good flinch luck would also be very much appreciated right now. Well, the first run didn't go well, and it pretty much came down to being slowed down from Thunder Wave paralysis. That, and it's hard to win when you get hit by 3 Hyper Beams. Okay, second attempt, and we now have a PCB attached to Smith, so we should be able to survive the first bout of paralysis. Gyarados survives Stomp, but it just does a Rain Dance before going down, so I am scared of Thunder since it can't miss while the Rain Dance is active. The first Dragonite is out, and Stomp doesn't hit as hard as it did against Gyarados, but it still takes it to yellow health. We get really lucky that its Thunder Wave misses, and we take it out with another Stomp. Second Dragonite goes down the same way. This time though, it flinches instead of using a move. Regardless, we are still at full health by the time we have taken down half of Lance's team. The bad news is we just used our last Stomp on the second Dragonite. Oh, I forgot to heal up power points before this battle. Psybeam takes a good chunk of Aerodactyl's health, and we take some damage from a wing attack before ultimately taking Aerodactyl out with another Psybeam. We stick with the same plan for Charizard when it comes out, and we do take some damage from a Flamethrower, but we are still doing okay here. Last out for Lance, and the Elite Four is his third Dragonite. Psybeam doesn't hit as hard here, and Dragonite sets up a safeguard. Another Psybeam does bring Dragonite to red health, but Lance is probably going to heal Dragonite up soon. We get hit by an Outrage, and we get ready to use another Psybeam, expecting to start this portion of the battle all over if Lance decides to heal up, but surprisingly he doesn't and Dragonite goes down. Well, the one time I was expecting our opponent to heal up at the end of the battle, and they actually don't. That might be the smoothest run through the Elite Four I've had in these Generation 2 runs, but we all know that the challenge is still going. We might have had a smoothish run so far, but that doesn't mean the second half will go that way. Well, the first 7 Kanto gems shouldn't be bad, because, well, they never are. The next big test is to see how we look against Blue. Before that though, we do the regular housekeeping in Celadon that we have done in the past. We get leftovers for some extra healing, and the TM for Psychic. We get to Blue easy enough. He starts the battle with his Pidgeot, which we take out with a couple stomps. We take some damage from Wing Attack, but we're okay. Alakazam is no match for our Crunch, and it goes down easy. I misclicked and had Smith hit Rhydon with a Psybeam instead of Psychic. It still does a lot of damage, but it's still standing and sets up a Sandstorm. Now we're going to heal a little less from our leftovers. Another Psybeam soon takes Rhydon out. I was hoping for some flinch luck from Stomp when Gyarados comes out. It doesn't happen, but it does set up a Rain Dance, which helps us thanks to our leftovers. From here we waste several turns trying to take Gyarados out, while Blue just heals him up to full health with a full restore. Eventually though, he goes down. Executor is next, and Crunch works great here. It's hanging on by a sliver, but we evade its Leech Seed and take it out with another Crunch. Last out for Blue is Arcanine, and I am not sure why I decided to use Psybeam against it instead of Psychic. Regardless, Arcanine is now in yellow health and does some decent damage with a Flamethrower, giving us the opportunity to use one more Psybeam for the win. Now, all the gym badges went pretty smoothly, but I'm not sure we are 100% ready for Red. Maybe like 80% ready. I would like a few more levels, but where we are currently standing, we are floating around his team's level range. But again, we are one Pokemon going against 6. Hardly a fair fight. And just like a lot of my Generation 2 challenges, I'm very concerned when it comes to Snorlax. That thing can be so tanky thanks to Amnesia and a possible Reflect that can be set up from Espeon. We can hit hard, but can we hit hard enough? Let's give it a go and see how things shape up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut to the chase here. We can't get past the halfway point of this battle. Pikachu can go down easily with one Sidekick, which is good since if it uses Charm, our attack stat is seriously hampered for the rest of the battle. And like I just said, we don't want that. Espeon isn't bad, but if it does set up a Reflect, then we are really stalled against Snorlax, like I was worried about. We go back and forth using Stomp if it uses Amnesia, or we need it to flinch. and then we use Sidekick if a Reflect is up. While all this is going on, we are trying not to get paralyzed from Body Slam, which actually happens a lot in these attempts, and we're trying our best to stop Snorlax from using Rest. Sometimes we go down to Snorlax, sometimes we don't. But if we do beat Snorlax, then we are in real bad shape when it comes to Charizard, and oftentimes we just go down from there. We had a couple occasions where we made it to Blastoise, but we are definitely too beat up to come out on top. I decided that we need to grind some, so let's aim for level 80 and go from there. From here we're having the same problems, but we're also doing better. We are hitting harder and taking a little less damage from these attacks. Our weaker special defense is kind of exposed here when it comes to Charizard and Blastoise. We're also getting paralyzed less here, and that's a plus. Some of these attempts also have some terrible luck. It feels like anytime we get a critical hit, Red's Pokemon also land one in the next turn, and it's just brutal trying to recover from that, especially from Snorlax. We had attempts where we really took a lot of its health from Psychic just to have it knock us out with a critical hit Body Slam. We just can't catch a break. I went back and forth on grinding some more, but my stubbornness got the best of me. I really think we can pull off a win at this level. In one attempt, we take out Pikachu like we have done multiple times by now. Espeon goes down to 2 crunches, but it does set up a Reflect during its turn, so we are back to an uphill battle against Snorlax. Because of this, we start out with Psychic when it comes out. It's a critical hit, so this might be our break. It responds with an Amnesia, so now it's really buffed. We switch to using Stomp, which starts off well considering it immediately causes Snorlax a flinch. Here's hoping the second one is enough to knock him out. Ooh, so close. And Rest too? Okay, let's start this again. Good news is, Espeon's Reflect is now gone, so Stomp is dealing noticeably more damage than it has done previously. We do take some damage from some Snores, but we fortunately take Snorlax down with 3 Stomps. This is shaping up to be one of our better starts for sure. Charizard is now out, and I know from previous experience that I can't one-shot it with Psychic, so we're going to try to see if Stomp can deal enough damage and hopefully, a flinch. There we go. That's exactly what we needed. I'm not 100% sure if we can knock Charizard out with a Psychic from here, but that's a great setup. Perfect. One Psychic is all we needed for the knockout. I try to use the same game plan against Blastoise, but Stomp doesn't hit us hard and it doesn't flinch. So we take some damage from Surf instead. Psychic is still pulling through with Blastoise now standing with a sliver of health. I'm surprised Red goes for Rain Dance here. I'm not sure if he's going to heal Blastoise to full health or not, but I'm hoping his Stomp ends this part of the battle. He doesn't heal up and Blastoise goes down. Last out for Red and the whole game is Venusaur, which is pretty much the best Pokemon for Smith to face when it comes to Red's team. We are faster than it and one-shot it with Sidekick. That was a great way to wrap up the battle. That might just be one of the easiest challenges I have ever done. This is definitely the shortest script for a video I have ever written. Kind of reminded me of my Farfetch'd challenge, to be honest. I'm very pleasantly surprised with how well Girafarig did during this whole run. Using Smith for the whole game was definitely not a nightmare in Silver. I mean, I know it's not the weakest Pokemon, but I was expecting more roadblocks than that. It really held its own in a lot of these battles. Girafarig got a lot of respect from me in this run. Hope you guys like this challenge. Tune in next time when I try to see if I can beat Pokemon Ruby with a single Skarmory. This one might be interesting. But in the meantime, you can watch some of my other challenges, and don't forget to like the videos, subscribe for more updates, and please leave some comments about what you liked about this video, what challenges you would like to see in the future, and suggestions on how I can make these videos better. I could always use some creative input when it comes to making these. Thanks for watching everybody, and until next time, Geronimo.